So this is how you do an example from 8y.5. First, you got to fill in this table here. That's the first part it's asking you to do. You got 3 boxes to fill in. And it's saying f of x equals 2x. Now that's something we haven't been using in class. Instead, we've been saying y equals 2x. But y equals 2x, it's just the same thing as f of x equals 2x. So whenever you see f of x, just pretend you're seeing y. Here, instead of seeing this, just think to yourself, all right, it's like I'm seeing y equals 2x, and then here it's saying this is x and this is y. Wherever you see f of x, just think to yourself, I'm seeing y. So the way you can think of this table is really a little bit different. Think of it like this. Picture this in your head if this helps, okay? This table here that they've given you, just picture it as if it's saying, let me set this up for you with my very clumsy rectangles here. I'll put a line down the middle. Okay, so up here I've got y equals 2x. And then this column is just saying, okay, x is whatever's in this column, and y is whatever in this column. And then it tells me that here x is 2, here x is 4, and here x is 5. Okay, so your first job is filling in these 3 boxes here. So if you know that y equals 2x, that means you take this number here from the x column and you put it in this spot here. So here, if I know I'm saying x is 2, let me say y equals 2 times x, where x is 2. So y equals 2 times 2, right? So it's like I'm saying to myself, y equals 2, and then whatever the x is, I put in there. Let me do that. Y equals 2 times whatever the x is. If x is 2, then in my head I say, let me put the 2 in that spot. That's coming from here, right? So I put the 2 in that spot and I say y equals, then I just got to simplify this right side. So y equals whatever that is. I simplify 2 times 2 as I know is 4. So that means I can put 4 in this spot here. Right, so let me type that in right now. I know that my y's got to be 4 here. And then I do that for the other boxes as well. I say, okay, here I'm saying to myself, if x is 4, then I put 4 in this spot here. And y equals 2 times 4, so y equals 8. I can figure that out just because 2 times 4 is 8. So y equals 8 when I put 4 in here in the x spot. That means I know my answer here, it's got to be 8. And I put that in my table. And if I do that, again, I say 5 goes in this spot here, because 5 is the x for this line. 5 goes in here, I say y equals 2 times 5, I get y equals 10. So that means 10 goes in this spot right here. That means I've got the table filled in, right? I'm going to put that in here. Alright, so now what's left is, I got to figure out, it says, it's asking me to complete the table, that's what we just did, and then, this is the second half, graph the function. This part's actually pretty easy because IXL does most of the work for me. What I have to do is I have to draw the line on this graph that shows this rule. Remember we were talking about rules in class, a rule is always a straight line. All these lines on the table are actually points in the coordinate plane. So this point is 2 for x, 4 for y. This point is 4 for x, 8 for y. This point is 5 for x, 10 for y. So now what I do to finish this second part is really easy. I just take 2 of the lines on this table, doesn't matter which 2. Let's just take the top 2 because they're right there. And I put those 2 points on the graph. All right. Now I'm doing this with the mouse on my computer here, but you can do it with your finger. So this point here is 2, 4. That means 2 for x, 4 for y. That's a point there. So I've got to have a line that's going to go through that point. And so I'm going to have a line, if I just go, the next point I need to get is 4, 8. Let me have the line going through 4, 8, like that. If I click that again there, I've given 2 points to IXL. It doesn't need the third point. I don't need to put it in myself. I could have put it here. But IXL now has the line drawn for me. And this line now goes through all of the points that follow the rule y equals 2x. Okay, so that's how it works. Let me do one quick example again. I'll talk you through it here. Y equals x plus 2. So x is on the left, y is on the right. I say if I take my value for x here and I put it in here, I say, okay, if x is 1, then 1 plus 2 is 3. If x is 5, then x plus 2 is 7. If x is 7, then that means 7 goes in here. 7 plus 2 gives me 9. Okay, so now I got my table filled. That was the first job, complete the table. Second job is now graph the function. So I've got my points here. I can just take any two of them. Let's take these two, 5 and 7 and 7 and 9. 5 for x, 7 for y, 7 for x, 9 for y. I've just taken 2 points from this table, 5, 7, 7, 9. I've put them here on the graph, and I'm done. And then it'll tell me, hey, brilliant. So that's how it works.